Oh, well, everyone, how are you today?
Great.
I'm so happy to be with you all today. So I'm thrilled to be with you in the digital realm. How cool is it that we can make things happen even when we don't get together in the personal space of being together? We can still be here in the digital realm and know that we are sharing the intention of being together and feeling this connection of the oneness. So my name is Jules de Jesus Fritz, and I live in an Airstream. How cool is that, huh? So I live in a vintage Airstream, and I travel around with my family. And I'm sure you're thinking, there's six of you guys. Are you sure you're good with that? And I can tell you that we all love the experience. And the best part about it is we get to visit beautiful places, but we all get to experience just the presence of each other, of being together and knowing that all is well wherever that we are. So I also like to go around and speak and share our message, but I like to have fun when I do that. Are you guys okay with having fun today? Is that good? Can I tell some stories and we're going to laugh and we're going to feel good together? All right, good. Just making sure, just making sure. So the other thing is that I share a message of emotional intelligence. Now, I'm just curious, does anybody here know about emotional intelligence? Are you familiar with emotional intelligence? All right, good. I'm just making sure that I'm speaking to my people, and I am. That's just wonderful. So, emotional intelligence, all about heart checks, ones that we give ourselves and we make space for each other. So, let's do a quick heart check today. How's everybody feeling? Are you feeling pretty calm in your heart today? Feeling pretty good? Or are you feeling a little stressed? Now, if you're feeling stressed, it's all right. I don't want you to feel like that's not allowed here because it's normal. I mean, in this world that we're living in, right? In this human existence, human experience that we're having, we have the world out there that we're dealing with, and then we have this world in here that we're also dealing with. So there's a lot that could pop up. You can sneeze and feel stressed. Am I right? There's a lot of stress over here. That, right? And the joke is that you go from to ah. And the way that came about was here, there, everywhere. Old McDonald has some stress. E-I-E-I-O. But what I'm going to share today is how I went from that to the ah. So I want you to put your hand on your heart. And this is your pause button. And I want you to put your hand on your heart and say with me, miracles. Say that with me. Miracles. And it feels good to say, but it also feels good to feel. Now I'm going to share with you how I came up with this process. So is an acronym that you're saying. It goes from awareness to healing. And I created this method in a time where I really needed a way to hit pause and figure out how to calm myself down. And the story starts with me crying out, me feeling so much pain. And I just said a prayer and I said, please, God, wait a minute. I can't start you there. I actually need to take you back to the very beginning. Does everybody have popcorn? Are we ready? Are we ready for this? Let's get some popcorn, y'all, because it's going to be a good story. So the story starts on a warm Wednesday night in May. And the doctor went to my dad and said, do you want me to save the baby or the mother? That's how my story starts. Now, my dad didn't meet the panic of the doctor. He said the only answer that he could give, which was save them both. Save them both. And I'm so grateful that my life started with this calm decision. Kind of set the tone for things. Now, that was the best and one of the only things that my dad was able to do for me. Yeah, I grew up with a single mom, and my mom and I are very close, always have been. And she does travel with us now that we are on the road, despite her having later stages Alzheimer's. And that's another reason why I had to teach myself how to say, miracles. So I could be the love that I wanted to be in those moments that felt really hard. Now, my mom and I, it's just the two of us pretty much because there's such an age gap between my siblings and I. So by the time I was actually old enough to appreciate them, they were already gone. So it was just the two of us. And my mom, she was so great to create this date night for us. She created this whole experience around what she knew I was interested in, which was her makeup bag. I loved it. And I was always trying to get my hands in it. And so she decided that she would get my favorite treats. She'd put her oldies, her vinyls on for me, and we would play and we'd have so much fun together. And I'm talking, this was a party, y'all. Like, I have blue eyeshadow everywhere, including my cheeks. I mean, I'm just encouraged to have a ball. And that's exactly what we did. Now, at the time of the story, I'm about 8 years old. And I'm also mowing the grass for extra money. Now, just so you understand where I'm mowing the grass, it's in Central Florida in the heat with a push mower. Now, here's the thing. I don't love being in the heat of Central Florida mowing grass. I'm not sure. There's a lot of people that do. So my 8-year-old self decided to come up with a way that I could still have fun doing all those beauty things and also make some extra money. So as I'm out there on my mower and I'm just a mowing thinking, I wonder if I paint nails and charge money, I wonder if mom would pay me. And then maybe I could paint everybody else's nails. And then I wouldn't have to be out here anymore. I wonder if mom would go for it. So I go inside and I said, hey, Ma, I got an idea. And she said, what's up, Juju? I said, well, what if I paint your nails and I charge you money? And I start a business that way. And she said, oh, okay. Well, here's the thing. If I'm going to pay you, then you have to make sure it's good and pay attention to detail. And I was like, you're saying there's a chance. And I started my first business offering beauty services at age 8. And let me tell you, from there, the word got out and business was good. Everybody started coming over because I had a very steady hand. And I also was paying attention to detail. So all of the moms of my friends started coming over and they brought me their box colors. And they said, well, can you get my hairline really tight? I'll give you $5. And I was like, you know, I can do it. And from there, I started giving haircuts. Like, who is trusting an 8-year-old with scissors? Everybody, all of them are lining up. Me next. It was so much fun. And this continued on. And so now I graduate high school. And guess what, y'all? I made it. I made it to the mall. I was working full time at the makeup counter, and I couldn't have been any prouder of myself. Here I am working full time, doing something that I love, painting faces. And I have these big dreams of all the things I'm going to do. I'm going to take all my friends out to eat. I'm going to go on trips. I'm going to do whatever I want. But that's not how it works out. It included a lot of long nights, weekend work, holidays too. And what happens is you start to realize, like, oh, things might be a little different than what you think they might be. And so my attention to detail and my work ethic caught the eye of upper management. And they came to me and said, you should really consider retail management. Oh, they said, you can make six figures. Oh, now I'm already doing the thing I love, but I would love to make a lot of money. So I started off on that path of moving away from the thing I loved in order to make some money. Now, have y'all ever been there where you walk away from the thing you love thinking, oh, this is going to work out fine. I'll be able to maybe buy some happiness. It'll be okay. It wasn't okay because those long nights got longer. The weekend work continued, the holiday work too. But now I wasn't doing the thing I loved. And I was sitting around saying, what happened? Now, the positive thing was I was getting recruited. Other companies were swooping in and making me offers. And so I was on track. I was going up this ladder with a sad heart. And so as I'm going up this ladder, I find myself wondering what I'm doing. And I also landed my biggest retailer and salary. So here I go to this big box retailer. And I get there. And guess what? The person that I beat out for the job works there too. And everybody else wanted them to get the job. Uh-oh, this is awkward. And so I'm there wondering what I'm doing because when they hired me, they banked on the fact that I'm a fast learner and that everyone else will help me. But that's not what happened. So after a few weeks of really not liking my job and really wondering what I'm doing, I walk in to the back stock room and there's employees in there. Now they don't hear me come in because fun fact, I'm also a ninja. So I walk in and guess what? They are talking about me. Y'all, they are talking about me. And you know what they're saying? They're saying, I can't stand her. She doesn't know how to do this job. And why does she always look like she's going to a party? Rude. So, catch my breath and I walk out of the stockroom just as quietly as I came in. I clock out and I go to my car and I start my next 2 days off. And I cried the whole way home. I felt so terrible that that happened. And I get to my apartment and my roommate's like, are you okay? Oh, they were talking about me. You should have heard the things they said. What is my life? And this kept going. And I felt so miserable because they were right about all of it. I didn't know how to do the job. And I did always look like I was going to a party, even if I had to wear khakis. And in that pain, I cried out. And I said, God, what is happening? Why is this happening? Where did I miss it? Where am I supposed to be? Am I supposed to be here? Because nobody wants me here. I don't understand. And I am hurting as I try my best. And I didn't hear anything. And I didn't feel any better. And so I upped the ante. I upped the ante, y'all. I said, now, if I'm not supposed to be here doing this, then send me a sign. Have y'all prayed the send me a sign prayer? Y'all prayed that? Send me a sign. I prayed the send me a sign prayer with the upped ante of, and if I miss the sign, drop a box on my head to make sure that I don't miss it. Well, I did my best to feel better. And I go back to work after my 2 days off. And I'm looking at my plans of what I'm supposed to do, which is build the display. Because that's my job now, y'all. I build displays instead of painting faces. And I stand there in my khakis looking like I'm ready to go to a party, trying to figure out what to do next. Okay, this is going to go here. And while I was looking at my sheet, a customer ran into my 20-foot ladder that was standing next to me. The 20-foot ladder that was holding a 20-foot box of peg hooks on top of it. As if there were a bullseye on my head, perhaps I put one there with that prayer. 3 ruptured discs in my spine. Now, can we just say that words are power? Because this is the moment where I realized how powerful my words were. And can I also say that I kind of wish I would have prayed for a pillow. So I am now at the doctor, getting all the tests and scans run that you have to have after you have a head injury. I also no longer work for that company because of workers' comp. And so I sit in the doctor's office, and the doctor comes in and he says, wow, you really did a number on yourself. You've got some hurt disc there. Good news. It looks like you don't need surgery. It should heal up pretty well on its own. Bad news. We have found something. We found something. It seems that you have a brain tumor. And based on its location, we're not going to be able to do a biopsy to learn more about it. A what? A brain tumor? Excuse me? First thing, is it cancer? Well, we can't biopsy it, so we won't know. Second thing, when am I going to die? How long do I have to live? And he said, well, since we can't biopsy it, we're not sure. You could have 10 days, you could have 10 years. Oh, but what we do know is that stress will accelerate the symptoms. Stress will accelerate the symptoms? You just stressed me out coming in here with this news. What are you talking about? And then, I kid you not, he says, so find a way to not stress out. Take care. Bye. And he leaves me there on the table to process all of this information. What? I wanted a sign, but I didn't want it like this. Have you guys ever been there? where you pray for a sign and then it doesn't show up the way you wanted it to show up? Put your hand on your heart and say, oh, miracles. So I'm trying to sort through what to do. And now the story gets even wilder, if you can believe that. But 2 months later, I get in a car accident. I'm driving, and a 16-year-old decides that they want to go to a car wash. And because I was paying attention, I avoided a head-on collision. But I hurt my lower back. So from the top to the bottom, my discs are ruptured. And now I'm starting to go to the specialist to figure out what to do with this thing in my head, hoping that they have a different idea, a different opinion, some hope. And so I go through the process and I give them all the information. And I say yes, because I want to be very efficient and good at this role of patient. Yes, this is what I've been told. This is the information. And I'd go on to the next one because they would have no option for me. And I remember going to this one neurologist and I go through the process. I go through the information and he's looking at me. This weird look on his face. And I was like, what? Why are you looking at me like that? And he gets right in my face and he says, you're telling me all this information as if this is what you've accepted. Yes, this is the diagnosis that I've been given. He leans even closer and he says, you don't want this. Oh. I get chills because I realize that this doctor is speaking to me from a higher source. And he looks at me again and he says, you don't want this. And I repeated back, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. Wait a minute, I don't want this. A new idea entered my mind that had not been there before. The whole way home on that 2-hour car ride, I kept repeating to myself, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. I had never thought about that I didn't want this. I was just accepting this. And so I go. So I go the next day. Guess what's all over the TV? Guess what's all over the place? It's not me. It's not me. Don't worry. It's not me. The Secret. Do y'all remember The Secret? Now I'm taking you back to 2006. So you may or may not remember The Secret. The Secret's everywhere. So I get my hands on The Secret because I have to understand what this is about. I mean, it was all over the place as if I couldn't miss it. I mean, it was like another box. And so I watch it. You know what The Secret is about? It's about people that go from one way of thinking into another way of being. Oh, wait a minute. And there's all these examples of people who are reversing medical conditions. Oh, wait, watch out now. If they can do it, I can surely do it. Good at things. I can do this. And then I start to realize I don't really know how to do all of this. I didn't know another way to be. And so I realized, I'll just make a vision board. That was also in there. and I'll start getting some ideas of what I want. Because that was another big thing about The Secret. The people in there were following their joy. I don't know how much joy I've been following. Instead, I've been chasing this paycheck. Oh, wait a minute. I used to love to paint. Yes, all right. So I go to the library and I double down on it. And I decide I'm going to learn everything that I can learn. Have y'all ever been at that stage where you figure out all the things that you don't know yet? Oh, there's a lot of learning to do. And I start taking it all in. And then I decide, oh, I am going to go out with guns blazing. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die happy. And Tim McGraw's song was really big on the charts, Live Like You Were Dying. And that became my anthem. Everywhere I'm, live like you dying. Yes, that's what I'm doing, Tim McGraw. Yes, I'm going after it. I'm going to be a makeup artist again. I'm going to follow my joy. That's right. And I just go after it. Now I have friends that have invited me to come to Savannah. There's no makeup artists in Savannah. And they say, come live with us. You need to be here. There are no makeup artists here. We need you. I said, all right, I'm going. Because there is not one thing stopping me. And now I am out of my own way because I don't want this. And I get to Savannah. Now, that vision board included a lot of amazing things, including Savannah's own Paula Deen. Butter and all, y'all, went on my vision board. And on my first day in Savannah, guess who I meet? It's not Paula Deen. I got you. My husband, Josh. Now, he's not my husband yet, but the first day I get there, he is the roommate that my friends didn't tell me about. So, fun fact, we've always lived together because I became their new roommate. And so from there, I just let loose and I allowed myself to really go after it. And I'm having a great time back in the saddle, painting faces. And business is going great. I mean, it's blowing up. Now, here's the thing. Now, remember I hurt my back? Well, my body kind of can't keep up with the level of work that I'm doing. My body kind of can't keep up with this explosive career that I've just started for myself. Now I have to come up with another option. So I go to India to have back surgery. But y'all, that's another story that I'll tell you later. So after I have a new lease on life, I can really just go wide open. And I can allow myself to fulfill my dreams and make everything on that vision board happen. And so as I'm out there working, guess who I meet now? Paula Deen. And working with the Dean family was amazing. I was able to meet other celebrities and I was able to really take my career to the next level. And so I opened up the city's first beauty agency. I was training makeup artists. I was out there doing everything that I dreamed of doing. I'm running international fashion shows. I mean, y'all, I am doing everything I have ever dreamed of and more. But here's the thing. I had a baby. And then I didn't quite want to do this anymore. Instead of traveling with celebrities, I kind of wanted to stay with my baby and maybe travel with my family instead. Have y'all ever been there? When you get everything you wanted and then it doesn't feel the way you thought it might feel? And some may say, oh, well, that's self-sabotage. You're just not allowing yourself to be happy. Maybe. But I have a different idea. What if you're being called to something higher? What if everything you were doing was preparing you for what you're meant to do next? See, as a makeup artist, I was known for my calm and steady energy. Where did I get that from? Because I had to teach myself how to calm myself down to live, to survive. And once I learned a new way of being, this showed up in what I was doing in the beauty world. And I was getting called. I was in demand because people would say, "Oh, our talent, they're requesting you. They won't come out on set until you're here." And it's because my level of calm was so steady, they would meet me and then they could shine on camera. It wasn't that I wasn't able to blend out a smoky eye or make you look fabulous on camera, because I could do that. But you know the saying that it's the way that you make people feel. That's what they remember. And so now, at the top of my career, I now decide I don't think I want this anymore. And everybody thought I was crazy. They were like, "Jules, you're at the height of the career of the things that you've worked for. What do you mean you're going to leave it? What's your plan?" I don't have a plan. What? You don't have a plan? Nope. I'm pretty sure the only plan I have is, I'm just going to surrender and follow my inner knowing and trust that it knows the way. I'm going to try that. What? Yeah. But spoiler alert, y'all, it worked out because here I am with you. And the thing is that when we're being called beyond our comfort zone, because all those things on that vision board, done, checked off. Cool. And what else is there? And what else was for me to figure out why this worked? What else was for me to understand how changing my thoughts and my way of being and adding joy and following that can make me feel better? It can make me happier and maybe even successful. What? How does this work? There's a lot here that I don't know. And I decided to dive deep into wellness. So as I dive deep into that, I realized that there's more for me. And I created this method out of everything that I had experienced, that I had gone through. Because y'all, I didn't choose calm. The calm game chose me. Because I knew nobody was coming to save me. They told me straight up, "We have no options for you. Remember? Figure it out." There was no manual. There was no life tips, no life hacks. I got nothing. What I realized is I was building all this because I was meant to. And that's what I'm going to share with you later today, is that method. So just give me a little raise of hands here. Who's coming to my workshop later? Yes. All right. So what I'm going to show you is how we go from awareness all the way to healing, and we feel better. And we take that energy that we feel in that moment of going like, whoa, we can hit pause and we can reclaim that energy and do something really positive with it. So now before I wind down, I know that we might be on our phones, but I do have a gift to give you that may require your phone. So I'm not sure if there's a slide, or if you have a phone handy, great. Or if you have a computer nearby. So let's see if the slide can come up. If not, Josh has dropped the link. It's ca.themiraclelab.org. If you go to that link right now, I'm going to send you a gift. It's going to go right to your inbox. So if it's not in your inbox within 5 minutes, rescue me from the spam folder, please. And what I'm going to send you are 2 ebooks and some resources. Okay? I'll give you just a minute to do that. And then we also have the registration link in the chat as well. And with that registration, you're going to have your seat, and you'll also get the link to the digital copy of my book, Miracles. All right. All right. So now I don't want to leave you hanging. Before I go, I don't want to leave you hanging because I know that I've shared a lot of story here today. And you're also probably wondering, so what happened, Jules? Like, do you have a brain tumor or what? What's going on with you? Is anybody thinking it? Anybody wondering? And remember I told you I went to India for back surgery? Well, I also went to India for a procedure called the gamma knife that I was a candidate for. And so I take all of my scans and all my reports and files, and I go to India. And before you have this procedure, they have to run fresh scans so they can see what they're working with in real time. And so after I get done with the scans, the tech says, "Why are you here?" I was like, "Oh, I'm here for the gamma knife procedure to remove a brain tumor." And the tech says, "What tumor? What tumor?" Hey! So by releasing these old thoughts, these old patterns, I made space for miracles to happen. Look at that. Not only did I get this big miraculous miracle, right? Like, whoa! But I also learned that every expression of love is a miracle. All of it. And so this whole time, as I'm calling out for love and I'm calling out for these miracles, I realize that I'm calling out to myself, to me, to that inner higher wisdom within me, that love that I am, that love that you are. And so as I'm calling out, I'm also receiving, because that's how it works. And my intention was set to feel love, to be love, to feel joy, to bring joy. And as this continued to be my life, my whole being was changed, evolved into where I was supposed to be. And now the universe got my attention in a very distinct way. And you may have your own ways that the universe is getting your attention. And so as you think of my story going forward, and you think about calling out to love and calling out to miracles, I want you to remember, calling all love and miracles is calm. So you put your hand on your heart and you remind yourself to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Say, let me not betray myself. Let me hit pause and say, miracle. Thank you all so much for your attention and your time and your love that you're sharing with me. I pray that I have reminded you of your own personal power and the love that you are. Thank you. And so next we're going to move into a meditation. And so during this meditation, I want you to think about whatever has come up for you during this story time. And I'm going to share with you my favorite meditation to do. It's my favorite. Now, what happened with this wellness journey that I went on is I started to teach my kids about their feelings, that they are not their feelings. Being present, being able to do all the things. For me to be a mom, to be a full-time caregiver to my mom with Alzheimer's, takes a lot of presence and also awareness. And so realizing that we're not our feelings is really, really powerful. And so during this meditation, I'm going to share with you this idea that you are the sky. And that's actually the name of our son Julian's book that he wrote. You are the sky. And in this story, Sky forgets that sky is the sky, because sky is hanging on to the clouds, which are feelings. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Pema Chodron's quote of "You are the sky, everything else is just the weather." But that's the quote that inspired this lesson with my kids and inspired Julian's story. So thinking about the feelings as clouds that we hold on to instead of releasing and letting them pass so we can remain the sky. Think about right now in this moment what cloud might be visiting you and what you might be hanging on to. So in this moment, we're just going to start to turn into our heart space. Go ahead and close your eyes. Lower your gaze, whichever feels comfortable for you. If you're seated, just allow yourself to relax in your chair, your feet flat on the ground. Bring your attention to your breathing and just breathe calmly. Just remember to breathe. Maybe you've been holding your breath, and just breathe as feels best to you. Now bring your awareness to your muscles. Let's start with your face. Let's relax any tension that may be held in your brow, in your jaw. Now move down to your neck. Maybe roll your neck a little bit. Just loosen yourself up. Roll those shoulders. This is your time right now. Let's recharge. We're going to plug into source. And in this space that we've created together, we just set our intentions to be in oneness and allowing those muscles to continue to relax and release as you move your energy and awareness down through your body. In your heart space, allow your chest to just relax as you breathe. Inhale all the good that this moment has for you. And exhale everything else. In this moment, this breath is everything. Moment to moment to moment. As we continue to let that energy go down through the rest of our bodies, relaxing your hips, your legs. Maybe when you get down to your ankles, you can roll your ankles a little bit. And let your toes feel the ground. And now from this relaxed space, and just think about, bring your awareness to the clouds. Not forcing any clouds to show up, just what's hanging out. Honoring what is there. And if this cloud is blocking the presence of love, we notice that. No judgment. Okay. And just bring our awareness back to the breathing, back to the breath. That cloud's there. It's all right. And in this moment, we think about what this cloud is offering to us. Any wisdom, any information. We honor it. Thank you. And now we let it go. So allow yourself to release this cloud. Maybe even place it at the inner altar within your heart as a gift to God, the universe, creator. And say, here, you take it. I want to lighten my load and remember that I am the sky. Continue breathing. You are safe in this moment to rest and release. And our last step is to give gratitude for the ability to do this, to remind ourselves of who we are, to lighten our hearts, and remember that we are the sky. A couple more breaths in this space. As we start to come back and return our senses to the outside world, I invite you to feel your toes wiggle and move up your body, starting from your feet. Just roll your ankles. Just feel your body. Continue to move up and feel the life force and energy that is within you. Recognizing chakras, recognizing your energy, your cells, your organs, everything, all of it, including that you are the sky. When you get to your heart space, breathe into your heart. Moving up, rolling the shoulders, rolling your wrists, maybe shaking your hands out. Feeling this recharge. And now up to your face. Maybe open your eyes when you're ready. And all is well. Thank you.